steady and firm upon the truth. Verily Allah does neither look to your forms nor to your bodies, but He looks to your hearts and your words. Also among the things that weakens, makes the heart weak, is to rely upon other than Allah. To have tawakkul not on Allah. You don't trust Allah, you don't rely on Allah, you don't depend on Allah, you depend upon other than Allah. Then, if you depend upon other than Allah and rely upon other than Allah, then this heart will be sick heart. You know, if you want your heart to remain firm, put your trust in Allah. Then you will not fear anyone but Allah. Read in the Quran. فَلَمَّا تَرَاءَ الْجَمْعَانِ قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ قَالَ كَلَّا إِنَّ مَعِيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. The Quran tells us that when, Musa alayhi salam, he took the Israelites, Banu Israel, from Egypt. And then the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh, and his troops followed them. When the day started to break, the troops of the Pharaoh behind the Musa and his people, and the sea in front of them. So they are sandwiched. There's no way to escape, true or not. So the people of Musa said, "Oh Musa, we are finished. We'll be taken, we'll be captured." Musa said, "Nay, no way. They cannot catch us." "What are you talking? They're behind us." He said, "No way. Kalla, nay. Inna ma'ya Rabbi sayahdin. Verily I have my Lord with me. I have Allah with me. He's the one who's going to save me." And what happened? وَنَضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْبَحْرِ. Hit the sea with your stick and staff. And what happened? And the sea split. This is the tawakkul. When the heart relies upon Allah, nothing shakes it. Nothing. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he migrated from Mecca to Medina, and the mushriks, they made a prize. Whoever brings Muhammad, dead or alive, 100 she-camel. And one guy who's an expert in reading the footprints followed them. His name was Suraq ibn Malik. And he followed the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, someone is after us." Said, "Don't worry." And what happened? The land was so rocky. It's a rocky land. It's not more land, rocky land. And the two hands and the two legs of the horse sank into the rocky land. So the horse fell down. The rider also fell off. And then he jumped. And he tried to do this to follow the Prophet and to catch the Prophet. And it happened to him 3 times. Then the Prophet ﷺ turned to him, said, "Suraqa, don't waste your time. You cannot catch us. Allah is our protector. Don't waste time. But I will tell you something, Suraqa. Go back and I will promise you to give you the bangles, the bracelets of the king of Persia." Can you imagine? The Prophet ﷺ is chased, wanted, and he's promising the bangles, the bracelet of the emperor of Persia. And the years passed and Islam spread and Suraqa became a Muslim. And during the Khilafah, the reign of Umar ibn Khattab, the Muslims took Persia and they brought the bangles, the bracelets of the king of Persia, the emperor. And Umar ibn Khattab said, "Where is Suraqa ibn Malik? Stand up, give me your hands. This is what the Prophet promised you." So this is the tawakkul. He's telling him, "Go. You cannot do anything to us. Because we were just in the cave and you couldn't see us in the cave. And by the way, brothers and sisters, when they were in the cave, there was no web spider, huh? There was no web spider, there was no pigeon, nothing. It is the power of Allah who protected them. The cave was open, nothing is there. As Abu Bakr said, if one just did like this, he will be able to see us. The Prophet told him, don't worry, they will not see us. They will not be able to see us because Allah is protecting us. Also, what sickens and what will make the heart sick is too much of eating. If you eat too much, you will sleep too much. And if you sleep too much, you will miss a lot. You will miss good deeds, many things. The actions of the heart. The first thing among the actions of the heart is learning and understanding. You learn by your heart and you understand by your heart. As Allah said, أَفَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَتَكُونَ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ يَعْقِلُونَ بِهَا أَوْ آذَانٌ يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. Do they not travel through the land so that their hearts may thus learn wisdom? Their hearts learn wisdom, and their ears may thus learn to hear. So the hearts, they learn. The heart learns. As just the heart gets blind, the heart learns as well. Among the actions of the heart, brothers and sisters, is love. How do you love someone? By your ear? Your tongue? By which of the five senses? No. By your heart. That's why you see the teenagers' hearts everywhere, right? And on Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day is the day of the hearts. Pink, everyone is pink. Hearts. And your hearts, you see the arrow through the heart, right? That is, they call it Cupid arrow. So, people, they love by their hearts. And you feel the pain in your heart, right? Have you experienced that, brothers? I'm sure many of you, those who loved, they experienced that pain in their hearts, right? So, you love by your heart. So that is also one of the acts of the heart. Also among the actions of the heart is hatred. This heart, you love and you hate. You say, Ya akhi, I hate him. I don't like him. You hate with what? With your heart. Also, among the actions of the heart is humbleness. You become humble. Humility. As Allah says, وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Which means, and the servants of Allah, most gracious, are those who walk on earth in humility, in humbleness. And when the ignorant, the fools address them, they say peace, salam, salam. You find the people of knowledge, the ulama, are humble people. Very humble. And we've seen them with our eyes. If you see him walking in the street, you will not say this is alim or allama, humble, simple person. But when he talks, the pearls come out. But if you see him in the street, he's a very normal person, humble person. That is the real alim. That's the real person of knowledge. And you'll find the ignorant, he walks, his head is up, his nose in the sky, arrogant, because his head is empty. Nothing is there. That's why his arrogance. There is a saying in the Arabic language that they say, don't you see that the ear of corn, you know, maize, corn, the ear when it is full of grains, it is up or down? Down, heavy, full of grains, so it's down to earth. When it is empty, on top. So those people of knowledge are full of knowledge. That's why they are down to earth, humble people. So humbleness is also among the acts of the heart, that you are a humble person. If you are arrogant, proud, you will never enter the Jannah. Prophet Muhammad said, لا يدخل الجنة متكبر. A proud person, arrogant person will never enter the Jannah. So if you want to enter the Jannah, you should humble yourself. Among the acts of the heart also arrogance. You become arrogant by your heart. You look upon the people like this, from top, disdainfully. That is also among the actions of the heart. Among the actions of the heart, brothers and sisters, humbleness, submissiveness, that you submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah says, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُ فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتُ وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. Which means in English, Allah swearing, Allah swears by Himself, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ, by your Lord they believe not, unless and until they make you judge between them in all their disputes. Then they find no opposition or resistance or hatred for your decision, and they surrender in submission. They submit to Allah. So you will not become a true believer and a true Muslim unless you submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and unless and until you accept whatever the Prophet ﷺ says. Many people, many Muslims, you tell him Prophet Muhammad says this, he tells you, is this in the Quran? Have you heard them? He tells you, is this in the Quran? You tell him Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said this. Akhi, is it in the Quran? As if what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says is something insignificant. And then you ask him, brother, do you believe that he is Rasulullah? Yes, I do. No, you don't. How you say that he is Allah's messenger, and then he tells you, you don't listen to him? Come on, wake up. If you say that he is Rasulullah, then you are obliged to listen to him and to accept whatever he tells you, because he is Rasulullah. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, you know, on the night of the Mi'raj, night of ascension, when he went and came back and he was narrating to the mushriks, Abu Jahl passed by Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr was not there, radiallahu anhu. He said, Abu Bakr, he tells me that the news comes to him within seconds, I accept. If he says that he went overnight, why shouldn't I accept? He's Rasulullah. That's why he's Siddiq. So whatever the Prophet ﷺ says, finish. You accept. He tells you. Plus that the Quran commands us to take whatever the Prophet ﷺ tells us to do. Conviction. The conviction is always where? In the heart. You become convinced. That is the function, that is one of the actions of the heart. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, Rabbi arini kayfa tuhyi al-mawta. Ibrahim said, oh Allah, let me see how you give life to the dead. How you give life to the dead. Allah said, awalam tu'min, haven't you believed? He said, yes, I believe. Walakin liyatma'inna qalbi, I want more certainty. I want to see how you give life to the dead. Allah told him, take 4 birds and cut them into pieces and mix them and then distribute them upon the mountains around you. And then you call them. Imagine now Ibrahim cutting the birds, and then he's distributing the flesh of the birds on the mountains. And then he said to the birds, come. And the birds came flapping their wings. I'm asking the question now, will the conviction before equal to the conviction after, or stronger? It will be stronger before or after? After, definitely. Because now he saw with his own eyes how Allah gave life to the dead. So the conviction even in the heart will be increased and strengthened when you see things that are happening in front of your eyes. So the conviction is one of the actions of the heart. And if Ibrahim alayhi salam asked for a proof to Allah, then we can ask the scholars for evidence, right? If the Mawlawi is saying, you do this thing, I say, Sheikh, if you don't mind, may I know the evidence? May I know why I should do this? He should not get angry, the Mawlawi. He said, yes, son. Allah said this. The Prophet ﷺ said this. Say, Barakallah feek. He should not say, you don't trust me? He say, no, I trust you, but I want something just to give more conviction. I want something to give me more yaqeen, more certainty that what I'm doing is correct. The fear also, where? The heart. When you start to fear something, when you start to feel afraid, the first thing, the heart will feel it. Boom, 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 right? That's how heart starts beating and the pulse increases. And then, you start running away, right? Because something scary. So the heart will start, the pulse of the heart and the beats of the heart will start to accelerate. And then, the rest of the organs will follow, because he's the king. As long as the heart is calm, Musa, the heart is calm. Prophet Muhammad, the heart is calm. Nothing happened. The moment the heart starts to tremble, the rest will start to shiver. Hope is also the action of the heart. Tawakkul is also the action of the heart. Sabr is also the action of the heart. All these are actions of the heart. Sabr. Bravery and courage, also the action of the heart. If this heart is calm, you will never fear anyone. So the courage, bravery, also among the actions of the heart. Cowardice, the heart. Homage, khushu', the heart. And the yaqeen, also the heart. May Allah Azza wa Jal strengthen our heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purify our hearts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unify and unite our hearts upon the truth. And may Allah reward all of you brothers and sisters for your patience and attendance. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Now we have question and answer session. Please restrict the questions to the topic, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Tahir. I'd like to ask a question. You just gave an explanation about the heart. In Arabic it's called qalb. But the heart, as we know, in the medical terms, is just a pumping machine which pumps the blood to the body. How do you relate it to the thinking and feeling mechanism, like we have the thinking and the feeling in the brain? When we describe, almost all languages describe the heart as where we feel. But the heart, medical terms, is only just a machine, pumping machine. How does this...
Jazakallah khair. This is what I said at the beginning. I said, we don't know anything about it except that it is a machine. Whereas the creator who made it, he's saying it's not only a machine. It has other functions, this heart. And I read an article long time ago about heart transplant. The doctor who made the heart transplant said, I have noticed that the person after the operation was speaking and mentioning names. So I called his family and I said, do you know these names that he's mentioning? He said, no. Are these names his friends? He said, no. Then he said, I decided to call the family of the owner of this heart. Because this heart belonged to someone who passed away. So he brought the family and he asked them, do you know these names? They say, yes, they are the friends of our son. These are his friends, the names he's mentioning. So our knowledge about many things in our body is not discovered yet. There's a lot of mystery about this body. The doctors, when we ask them, what is the role of the appendix? You're a doctor, right? Aren't you? Any doctor here? Any doctor? No one? Yes. What's the role of the appendix in the body? They tell you this is something additional. That's why we can't remove it. There's nothing additional. Don't say it has nothing because you don't know. A time will come when people will discover. There is nothing in God Almighty created just like that. Everything has a purpose to serve. Just because of our limited knowledge, we should not say it is something useless. It has no purpose. So our knowledge about ourselves is limited, and we have to admit that. But the problem is the nature of man is arrogant. He thinks that he understands everything when he doesn't. I'm sure many of you have noticed this in his lifetime. How many medicines you used to know many years ago, now they are not in the market anymore. Many medicines, right? After a few years they said, oh, this medicine is not good, remove it. After killing many people. After many people died, now that we realize this medicine is bad. Any medicine, open and read the prescription, you will find side effects. What does it mean, side effects? They tell you, yes, it might help you here, but it might cause other damage, something else. I read an article in a newspaper, local newspaper. In Australia, they hunt foxes, the foxes. They hunt them because of their skin. They sell the skin of the fox, the fur. So they sell the fur, but in Australia there was a problem. There were wolves, and the wolves, they eat the foxes. So the Australian decided to kill the wolves, so the foxes will be safe. But to their surprise, they found out that the quality of the fur became bad. That fluffiness and smoothness is not there. So they made a research. And then they found out that when the fox is frightened, scared, and chased, it starts certain gland secretes certain substances. And that substance is responsible of giving this fluffiness and smoothness. Then they said, let them the wolves again. So man doesn't know. He thinks he knows, he doesn't know. Look to the field of agriculture, using the chemicals. They started affecting the soil, right? Now the trend, they say, no, you should not use chemicals. Use our old method, the manure and run. That's the best way. Don't use chemicals. Culture the insects in the laboratories and put the insects in the field. Let everything natural as Allah created.
Jazakallah khair. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.